a little bit of bias to our impression as well. So let's reframe the problem. Okay, a lot of the Gen X manager, when I engage with them and say, how can I help you? The first question is, okay, how can we make the next generation behave as committed, as well-behaved as us? Andrew, teach me, you are PhD. But they ask the wrong question. They simply ask the wrong question. The right question should be, how can leaders optimize the diversity in the organization? If they reframe this question, I try to reframe that question. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes I'm not. If those organizations can reframe it, I'm here to help. Okay? If they want to just change the behavior according to the earlier, to fit in the expectation simply, or the old generation, I would say, sorry, I can't help you. Okay? So essentially, let's recap what the research find out that, yes, let's focus on the fundamental first. No matter it's Gen X, Gen Y staff, they all want leaders to willing to be developing others. They all want to have good delegation. They all want to have good role modeling, and they all want to have less judgment and more appreciation. No matter it's Gen X, Gen Y, that's the leadership fundamentals. Focus on the fundamental first. Okay, a lot of training, I talk to a lot of HR managers today, they all say, oh, give me a Gen Y program, give me a millennial training program. Okay, but I said that, have you done the foundation first? Have they, because those foundation, if they do this, both Gen X and Y staff will be happy. Focus on the fundamental first. If you don't have the fundamentals, doing a tailor-made Gen Y program won't help. Right? They need to have a good foundation of what good leadership across Gen X and Gen Y first. And then you fine-tune. And then you fine-tune. First of all, the Gen Y or the young generations prefer much two-way conversation. Prefer the leaders to have much more listening, much more facilitation to let them to voice out their creative ideas. The leaders need to be facilitating leaders and the listening leaders. Yes, Gen X wants that too, but Gen Y especially wants that. Okay, so once they have the fundamentals, shift the frontline managers to be more two-way conversationalists. Okay, that's one key thing that my research showed. Also, the next generation is a like generation. Okay, so the like, they every day want to be reinforced 100 times on the Facebook. Every morning they eat a breakfast, 餐蛋面, they will take a picture, and then they will refresh, and see how many likes they get. Right? That's the typical Gen Y behavior, because they want other people to acknowledge them. Is it good or bad? We just don't have Facebook 20 years later. Everybody needs acknowledgement. But the Facebook have actually amplified the needs. So we say, oh, should we fit that needs? No, not necessary. We need to distinguish what is a good like and a bad like. A good like based on latest research is effort-based. You acknowledge the effort, acknowledge the good decision, acknowledge the good attitude. Some things that are under the control, you can like them, and they need more. And research shows the more you do effort-based like, the better growth mindset, positive mindset they have, they become a better employee. If you focus mainly on result-based, have you got the quota? Yes, you got the quota, very good, only focus on the quota, it will promote unethical behavior. They only, that like will only say, oh, my boss only care about my result. You're sending that subtle message. So I probably will need to cross the line, I cheat, I lie to drive the result. If you focus on result-based like, that's not good. Also, don't focus on talent-based. Oh, you are so talented, you are so smart, your intelligence is so high. That is also bad as well, because that will promote risk averse. They will not go out of the comfort zone to try something new. So if you want very good, they are the like generation, but you need to teach the manager to use the right like. More frequent like, yes, but the right like in order to promote a positive atmosphere in your culture. Also, they need a different type of motivation. Very good book that I would highly recommend, Dan Pink book on Drive. They have very good TED Talk on that as well. They talk about in order to motivate people in 21st century, you need to give them more autonomy. For example, may not need everybody necessarily to arrive 9 o'clock at work. Okay? Well, in Central, in Ranchai, it's almost impossible anyway, right? Have some flexi hours. They really like it. Okay? Mastery, more development opportunity for them. And the last one is very important, ultra important. The manager need to explain to them the job they do have a certain meaning, have a certain purpose. That's not just a report that nobody's read. It's not just routine. It's something that impacts the business. Your action have result, has impact. The manager need to explain to them. The more they explain to them, the more they got motivation and they will do. I interview some students sleep on the outside 6 nights. This is actually from Apple Daily today. They said, I sleep in the park. I sleep in front of the police. This is nothing. It's not 好玩啊. It's nothing fun. It's nothing fun. But why I did that? Because I really want a true universal suffrage. When they see the commitment has an impact to the future, has a purpose, this next generation will be very motivated. So the challenge of HR, the challenge of the manager, need to connect the work, the very routine work that your staff do, connect them with a purpose. Explain why. Managers don't like to explain why these days. They just want to explain, do this, do what and how, but they forget to help the staff to understand why. The education system is different. Recently, the Hong Kong education system has 通識. What's 通識in English?
Common sense.
Common sense. Common sense. Before our education, never need to ask why. Mathematics 1 + 1 = 2. You just need to memorize that. In the past 10 years, they are stimulated to ask why in the education system. Yeah, they ask why, but when they get to the work, the leaders never explain why they need to do that. That's why they're so turned off. So we need to reteach our manager to explain the purpose, the meaning, the impact of the work to the young generation. Okay. And generation is not the only thing you need to be adaptive to. Our training usually focuses not only just on generation. We're focusing on adapting, helping managers to adapt to personality, to gender, to development stage, and to generations. And if your work or your organization also have mainland Chinese or Americans, the culture aspect is also very different as well. So we need leaders to be adaptive. Okay? At the end, we want the society badly needs unity these days. Not only in your organization, but the whole society. So the key thing, that's the true meaning, university. Actually, that term, university, coming out of 2 words, unity in diversity. That's the true meaning of university. So we all need to go back to university these days. So we need the generations to work together. Okay, so we need to be adaptive, okay, to the individual's need, no matter its generation, personality, culture. Okay. Let me end by this.
Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. in water, my friend. Like that, you see?
No, I see. I get the idea. I get the.
Who was that? I'll make in Hong Kong, Bruce Lee. Okay, it was Bruce Lee. Talks about the essence of the martial arts, Jeet Kune Do. He's talking using water to exemplify. And in fact, we also in Curve we also want to lead like water. 如水令導 is something that we want to help the organization, help the society to adapt. So X plus Y, our objective is no more a 粗口, no more a foul language. In Hong Kong, X plus Y usually mean foul language. But X plus Y, Gen X and Gen Y, if they really can work together, they can unleash the infinite potential in the workforce. So besides we're doing a lot of corporate training for Gen X, we also help a lot of university to because only the Gen X is adaptive is not enough. The Gen Y, the next generation, also need to more respect, more honoring. Okay, so last year when we helped the Hong Kong University Business School, our theme was called turning from Gen Me to Gen We. Me and we is just upside down. Okay. So let me end with my quote, with my favorite author, Martha Nussbaum. She said, "History is the story of people who seem happier to be defined by their differences than to be joined by what they share." Okay. This is a quote I usually need to reflect the point, because we are so easy to condemn, to map differences equal to bad. Differences may not equal to bad. Okay. Differences can mean diversity, can mean potential. Okay. I just saw this couple hours ago. This some of the Gen X in Mongkok, hand in hand, protect the young people. Okay. Unfortunately, in the society, I think those are the minority. Unfortunately, those are the minority. We hope more managers in your organization can not only protect and to fulfill the dreams of the next generation, to support them, to individualize care for them, and to develop them. That's our goal. Okay, that's it. That's my sharing.
Thank you, Andrew, for your sharing.